Yeah. Not doing anything wrong here, he says. Yeah, Antifa just FAFO'd. You know, you got the guy right there in black who flips off the officer, gets grabbed and carried off. Y'all, we're going to start here. Let's start here. This is the climate. Federal buildings blockaded, officers taunted, arrests on site. Put a pin in that. Because while this is happening in Oregon, Dallas has woke up to gunfire. So unfortunate, man. Try to roll it. Here's what broke at the ICE field office.
Director, thank you for being here. I want to say, you were coming in. We were talking to you anyway. Obviously, this event has sort of subsumed what we were going to discuss. What can you tell us about this incident in Dallas?
Yeah, literally, as I was coming here, we were notified that there were shots fired at our Dallas field office. Right now, preliminary information is a possible sniper. We have 3 individuals that are down at this time. We're not sure on their condition. They've been taken to the hospital. We're hearing some reports that the shooter may be down from the Texas Department of Public Safety. The scene's secure. You know, obviously right now, my hearts and prayers are going out to my officers and agents. That's my biggest concern, and as well as everyone in that area. But this just shows the violence that's being increased against ICE officers and agents. This is the second time now we've had a shooting at one of our facilities in the Dallas area. And really, it's just a sad time that we have to worry about violence against law enforcement.
So you're hearing, the reports you're hearing at this point are coming from inside your offices in Dallas at ICE. You're hearing directly from them?
Yeah, we're hearing directly from the leadership on the ground there. The building is on lockdown, building secure. Initial reports are that our offices are accounted for, but there are 3 individuals that are shot.
Are the 3 individuals ICE employees?
We're still working on that right now. Obviously, it's really chaotic. Dallas Police Department's been great. They're on scene. It's a large police presence there right now. You know, it could be employees. It could be civilians that were visiting facility. It could be detainees. At this point, we're still working through that. We do know that 3 have definitely been shot. They're en route to the hospital right now. We had great support from locals on the ground that are helping us look for the active shooter. And like I said, right before I just walked on set, I got word that the shooter is down from a self-inflicted gunshot wound.
Question was proposed. Was it detainees that were shot at or ICE agents? I guess official word, chaos, lockdown, and early reports of a sniper. That framing matters because what you hear first shapes what you believe. But watch what happens when facts start catching up. Let's put the receipts on the screen.
We believe that he was shooting at law enforcement and the detainees from an apartment building. Again, those details are still murky. It looked like it might have been a sniper or some sort of a long form shot. But as soon as we have more information, we will give that out. But we do ask the American public, please join us in praying for the victims, for our law enforcement. You know, we've been saying for months that the rhetoric around our law enforcement, particularly ICE, the dehumanization, the demonization, has spun so far out of control, and that someone is going to get hurt or someone's going to get killed. And we hope that's not today, but this must stop. And I do have to know, almost a month to the date, at this Dallas ICE field office, we actually had a bomb threat there, a viable bomb threat. So we know that there has been really out of control rhetoric and threats against them. And please join us in praying.
Trish,
we believe that he was shooting.
From this, I'm getting that no ICE agents were shot. Dallas PD sources says that the victims are detainees. That's a hard correction from the attack on officers narrative you saw in the first. We stick with evidence, man, not adrenaline though. So we just gonna go by what we have here. Okay, so who was hit, where, and how? Local fees, they're gonna fill in the blanks for us.
Our sources on the ground there have been saying detainees and perhaps not the federal agents themselves, because I think what we would have heard from Kristi Noem or the acting ICE director in a tweet or anywhere else would have been much more intense than what we've heard now. Not to diminish what they're saying at all, but we don't at this moment believe any agents were shot, although that's how the call came out around 6:40 or 45. It was an officer assist call. And I'm being told by sources this was in what is be called the Sally Port area, or an area where people are brought in or out who are in detention. And so that's what I'm being told this happened, from shooting from one building rooftop to the next.
Right, and based on that information, Sean, it does seem to be a little different from some of the things that we've seen, especially in Alvarado, where you had agents who were targeted, federal agents who were the target of a shooting. In this case, it appears as though we've got detainees, ICE detainees, who were being taken into custody, who were shot. So it certainly changes the dynamic, at least.
That's what it appears at the moment, and hopefully we will learn more. Once we know who this person is, this man or woman, this person, the shooter is, once we know that, then that will lead us to another treasure trove of information that might end at a motive or reason behind this. We'll never hear it from this person's mouth because they're taking their own life. But yes, you're right, Brandon. The allegations in the federal information about what happened outside that facility in Alvarado is that people had body armor, they had multiple radios and cell phones, they had weapons, and that it was an ambush. This, in that regard, in that context, this is different. It is one person. Now, whether that person was shooting at the agents or at the people they were bringing in or taking out, we don't know. But in the climate now, this is why there has to be, you have to always think about all of these things, and it's impossible. It's literally impossible to think about every place something could happen, which shows, again, our just vulnerability in society.
Right.
So let's see. All right, I'm just getting a text in. Someone is confirming to me, another source, no agents or officers were struck.
No agents or officers. So that kind of goes against what, the vice president was saying, that he was saying it was an attack on law enforcement.
Okay. What? Now, it's still definitely an attack on law enforcement, but to sit there and make it seem like it's just made up, like agents haven't been attacked with an increase of 800% in recent months. Wow. And this is why details obviously matter. This wasn't inside a bullpen. It was a Sallyport movement zone for transfers. Shooter fires from a rooftop across the way. Two detainees killed, one injured. Shooter takes his own life. That's so much. That's only what we've been able to verify. That's the verified picture right now. Ugly, specific, and different from the early rush. And Dallas wasn't an isolated flashpoint. All right. While the media spun confusion down in Texas, ICE kept moving. This time in Chicago. Yep. Where Operation Midway Blitz is already underway.
Deje que lo explique. Usted violó su derecho de inmigración doméstico, federal o estatal. Usted fue arrestado. Con lo que va a pasar, ahorita lo vamos a llevar a la oficina, lo vamos a procesar. Le voy a dar la oportunidad de llamar a su familiar. ¿Ok?
Now, y'all see that? It isn't just Dallas. ICE is running nationwide operations. Operation Midway Blitz. The name honors Katie Abraham, an Illinois woman killed by an illegal immigrant drunk driver. In Chicago, they're now rounding up officers tied to serious crimes. This is what happens when federal enforcement actually gets support instead of being handcuffed by sanctuary city politics. And while ICE is on the offense in Chicago, I want you to look at what's happening across the way. Across the country out there in Oregon.
Hey,
So I'm pretty sure they're going to end up cutting off and copyrighting the music. So might as well just go ahead and speak while the clip plays. As you see these masked up radicals calling themselves Tifa tried storming an ICE facility in Eugene. Police arrested at least 2 of them. The question people are asking now, will the Attorney General treat this like domestic terrorism? Because if the script were flipped, if it was conservative storming a federal building, you know what charges would be filed and what changes you would see occurring and how this is being handled. But when the far left does it, I mean, suddenly they want to classify it as a protest. This is the bigger picture, though. Dallas shows the danger, Chicago shows the enforcement, and Oregon shows the resistance. It's all connected. Don't let the noise confuse you, though. So far, I'm saying that no officers were shot. I'm also saying that other reports were officers shot, but based on what we reviewed, this is what we got. The victims were detainees. The shooter took his life, and now ICE is doubling down nationwide, from Texas to Illinois to Oregon. The pattern is very clear. Enforcement is rising, and the opposition is getting louder. So I want y'all to stay sharp, stay informed, and always, pay the toll, so to speak. And like, subscribe, and join the taxpayers. No, look, man, if you made it to the end of this video, please go check out a friend today. You can quite literally be saving their life. Peace.